always feels better. Hello, everyone.
Hi, everybody.
I'm Steve.
Mark.
And this is Smokey Steve and Marc.
Yes, it is.
Welcome or welcome back.
Yes, hello.
Happy Tuesday.
Yes, happy Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Tuesday. It's that, nondescript day.
Yeah. For me, today, it's like a little Friday. I am off tomorrow.
Yes, and I am too.
Many thanks to our veterans for all their service.
Mm-hmm.
And for the day off that they give to the rest of us, too, to acknowledge that service.
Yes.
And sleep in a little. So, it's a good thing. You're off tomorrow anyway.
Yeah, I'm off usually Wednesdays. So,
but I'll be off. So, I'm looking forward to that. So how are you doing?
All right. Thank you, everybody who commented and watched yesterday's Mondays with Mark. I think I got more comments and emails and stuff. I don't know if ever, but I mean, from a long time from a Mondays with Mark. I'm so happy you enjoyed that. Because I really wanted to make that for quite some time.
Mondays with Mark is interesting because the comment to view ratio is staggering. It's almost like 90% of the people who watch the video comment on it.
That's really
There's always a lot of feedback on those, which is cool.
That's nice. Yeah. I'm really, really glad you liked it. And yes, and some of the comments were like, oh my gosh, I have to save all my wine corks now, or I have a whole bag of them, I never knew what to do with them. So keep saving them, because we're going to have another cork one.
Is that coming up during Christmas
Yes,
time?
during Christmas. Yes.
Oh,
So we'll be making a nice little... something else made with corks at Christmas time.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. I think we might do an ornament or something like that. I'm not sure, but I'm kind of into it now. Every time we do something new on Mondays with Mark, like a new technique or a new, new material or something.
There was cement everywhere for a long
time. And now it's moved down to the bottom shelf.
Yeah.
And now I have corks everywhere. I'm like, I love doing this.
And
it's
then
so
they'll
fun.
move their way down, and we'll get into
something else.
What else?
You
Wood
never
burning.
know. Yeah.
What
we
else?
haven't done wood
Glass
burning
blowing.
Yes. Yeah, we haven't done that yet. I've never done that, so I don't know.
He's bidding on a kiln on eBay.
Right, right. Oh, it's a pen. I just got done with work.
Oh.
I keep it here sometimes.
I haven't noticed that.
I didn't until I looked at it and saw. But anyway, so thank you very much. I had a great time doing that, and I'm glad you enjoyed it too.
Mm-hmm. Well, I had a traveling day today. I had to be up and out early. I can't get up at my normal 5 of 9. So I got up at 10 of 9. And got myself together, got out the door. I had to give a presentation today. This is probably the 6th time I've seen actual folks in person for work out of the last 9 months.
Yeah.
Maybe 6 or 7 times. It was at a mental health provider. And I got there, and the security guard took my temperature, but he didn't have a mask on.
That's interesting.
And I'm not trying to, virtue signal or shame anybody.
Yeah.
It just didn't make sense. Why
the person who takes your temperature,
who got 2 feet from my face so he could do it.
Right. That's pretty interesting.
I don't know. I'm one of those, as far as masks go, I'm kind of like, throw it on when you go in the store.
Yeah.
Take it off when you get
Just
out.
do it. It's not
wash your hands, whatever. I don't feel like, they're not trying to take my kidneys.
Yeah.
They're not
trying to take my rights away. Or I'm like, oh God, just do it. We'll get through this.
No one's asking me to make the kind of sacrifices that the people tomorrow that we're celebrating are making.
Right.
It's a paper mask.
Right.
Personal feelings. I'm not judging you if you don't. You'll get consequences if you're getting consequences for that.
Yeah.
So at any rate, and then I had to talk through a mask the whole time to a room with about 8 people in it because they were all distanced out. And the first mask I had kept falling off while I was talking. I'm a little animated when I speak. So I had to put on another one where I could,
Oh, yes.
And I had to throw my voice so they could hear me in the back of the room.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I know. I have to wear a mask when dealing with patients at work, too, and it took a long time to get used to it.
Yeah.
But I'm used to it now, but I still, when I pick up the phone and start talking, that's when it gets weird. I'm like, oh, man,
Yeah.
It's so funny. But it was funny last night, just randomly. I didn't choose this or anything, but I put on a Twilight Zone to fall asleep to, and it was called the Blessington Method. It's a good one, but it's so funny and ironic because it takes place in the future, and all of society, you can't know language. You can't use language because it spreads germs. So everything is done by like your eyes or your gestures or touching buttons, like, you know, and like things come down out of the ceiling and face you and you just have to hold up what you want to do. I'm like, how interesting is that? Like, they bypassed masks, everything. They just
Don't
no
talk.
communication
No
at
talking.
all. Just show things. You know, I'm like, wow, that's really. Is that where we're heading? Oh my goodness.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I guess we'll see. But
I don't know.
I'm still working. You're still working. We're still in a good spot.
We're
Better
still
than a lot of
fine.
people.
We
so
are. We're very blessed.
we have our daily, annoyances, but we have frankly very little to complain about.
Yes, no. I
And
always have to draw myself back
Yeah.
when I start boo-hooing and that kind of thing. I have to, and what I do is I do gratitude.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh God, thank you for this, thank you for that. Just to bring myself back to reality, because like my mom, how you can get.
I know. I'm like bitching about the things other people pray for, so shut up.
I know. And
There's-
it's
that's been-
very easy to do that too.
That's been more eloquently put. I'm just summarizing.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Well, today I thought we would do, especially since I had like a group, I had a presentation today, but I do groups a lot of times during the week and via Zoom and whatnot.
Yeah.
One of the things is just to do a basic kind of mental health check-in. Not even just mental health, just like a daily life kind of check-in. How are you feeling? How are you doing? How are you coping? That kind of thing.
Yeah.
Now, I do mental health groups, so that tends to be the topic, and everyone in those groups usually has a mental health diagnosis.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter which kind. It doesn't matter which one. It doesn't matter if anyone discloses what kind.
Right. Or even if you have one.
No.
Like
the details are always different, but a lot of times the feelings are the same.
Yeah.
An example, I've sat in groups where there was folks who had trauma going on, and it was everything from young adults who were transgendered and experienced bullying, from adults who had survived trauma from 9/11. Like, there was all sorts of different groups. So again, details different, feelings are the same.
Yeah.
So I thought to invite everyone in to the circle to have a discussion, check everyone else. Invite everybody to check in with how they're doing, and we would check in with how we're doing.
I like that idea. I like the whole, peer-to-peer type thing, you know?
Peer-to-peer specifically, because
Yeah.
I'm not a professional beyond the work that I do.
Yeah.
And this is not in my official capacity as an employee of where I work.
Right.
And if you are an expert in the field of mental health, I'd ask you to dial it back for this bit of
Just
discussion.
for this one? Oh, I got you.
Because this is more peers helping peers,
Yeah, I
people
got
talking
you.
to each other. If you do have some expertise, I'm sure you're really good at it. Share your insights, but as
Yeah.
far as anything specific, we're just going to keep this to friends talking to friends.
Yeah, and I like that idea, because I think probably the comment section then would be a way for folks to interact with each other too.
Yeah.
Like, someone could say, "Hey, I feel that way. Hope you feel better," or good job on that, or whatever. I like that idea.
Yeah.
Kind of like a delayed live stream in a way. The chats on the live stream.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You can post with how you're doing, and somebody
Yeah, I
should give
like
you,
that
a
idea.
pat on the back. And it's not just griping, how your
Yeah.
day goes. It's an inventory, which includes good and bad stuff.
Yeah.
The stuff that's, not damaged goods, and the stuff that is. So.
I like that idea, and also, like, it's important, and I'm glad that you mentioned that you can put good things too.
Yeah.
Right? It doesn't have to be only if you feel bad, because I think that when you see somebody else say having a good day, or sharing something that they accomplished that day, I think that kind of gives you a little boost too. So I think both ways works really well. So, are you gonna do your check-in?
Sure, I'll check in first.
All right, we'll check in.
Well, let's see. My name's Steve. My pronouns are he and him. That's a thing now. Don't jump on me for being PC. That's a thing people do now. They talk about their pronouns. You can skip over that.
What do you mean by that? I don't know.
How I would choose to be addressed by my gender.
Oh,
the pronouns
I
I
see.
choose to
Oh, interesting.
use. Yeah. You don't have to like that, but get used to hearing it, because it's probably going to come up a lot more.
Yeah, we had something like that. I didn't catch it though.
He,
but
him, she, her, or they. That's the only not oddball one, but that's the one that you might not be expecting to hear that might come out. Someone might refer to
they
as
refer
they.
to themselves
as
they.
as a genderless they.
Interesting.
Yeah. Little sidebar. Today I am doing okay. I had an extremely anxious morning this morning because I had a presentation to give, and I didn't feel like I was totally prepared, even though I tried to prepare. I woke up in panic, threw my legs over the edge of the bed, and started hyperventilating. I then took my morning meds and had some coffee, but didn't have I didn't give myself enough morning time, honestly, to sit and have coffee and watch some news and get out the door. It was like, put on my shirt and run out to the day.
Well, that's because you got up at 10 till instead of 5 till.
Well, it's not often I have to go out. And it was I got to the place very, very early. I had to go to work, get a car, and then drive to the location. And I had to pick up handouts of these giant documents I was going to be reviewing. This is one of the most unpleasant topics I give a discussion about. It's like a 70-page document, and trying to explain to people who have other priorities at the moment, because they're having a rough time, the importance of this 70-page document.
Right.
It's hard to convince anyone it's worthwhile. So I got them all. Thankfully, I had a bunch already done, because it would have taken me 45 minutes to copy them. Went there. They didn't know who I was. Temperature. So got in, got out, threw the mask, everything was fine. Drove home. Then I had a Zoom 10 minutes after I got home. And then everything was done. And then I knew I was off tomorrow. So then I'm like, I can relax.
Yeah.
Then I can relax. I missed part of my schedule today, though. I didn't go for my walk.
Mm-hmm.
Because I wasn't home, too. I had to walk to work and walk home. So in my head, I said I walked.
Yeah.
But, honestly, I had a really large dessert 2 days ago. I mentioned, and it's still upsetting me.
Are you still talking? Oh my, still on that.
Okay, so we got this cake.
Though.
We got this cake. This is late, and this is because I'm feeling stress in other areas of my life, so rather than cope with it, I think about food.
Yeah.
Because eating disorders.
Yeah.
So, latent thoughts. No behaviors, exactly, but latent thoughts. So we had this cake, and it was a Boston cream cake, and
it's a new one they have at Giant. You know I don't like Giant. You know
but
I
they
don't
get
like
it
their
in.
desserts there, but this is a new one that they get in, and it's so good.
I told you guys I've been losing some weight losing some weight without trying. So me puts the pedal to the metal and says, "Frig, I can have dessert." There was a little more than a quarter of this cake left, and it was about yay big. Don't you know, I tried to cut it, it smushed, and I thought, just dump the whole thing in a bowl. Took the rest of the cake and ate it. That was Sunday night, and all day Monday I was like, you are not technically allowed to eat. Of course I did eat, because healthy, normal people eat, so even though I wasn't feeling healthy and normal, I decided to do something healthy and normal, which, acting as if, is good.
Hopefully I helped out, because I was like, when he was thinking about dinner and this and that, and he's like, I don't know, I just feel like I shouldn't eat, da-da-da. I'm like, okay, well, you are going to eat tonight, so let's get at least that part of it out of the way.
Yeah, then it was a matter of what.
Yes.
And then I made some healthier food choices, which made me feel like, okay, it was a blip on the radar.
Yeah.
It wasn't, I didn't flatline at binge. So
yeah.
So that was still on my mind going into today.
Mm.
And then I took a couple hours off this afternoon just to rest my eyes. It was a nice afternoon. We had good weather. Today was probably the last nice day, they're saying.
Oh, tomorrow's supposed to be bad?
Oh, I don't know if it's bad, but I was hearing that the nice weather, this is it.
This is it.
This is it.
I did hear this is it, too,
There's
but
no,
I thought it was
what
one
do they
more
call
day.
it? Indian summer, whatever
Yeah.
it is. This is it. Now it's gray and cold.
We were blessed. I mean,
until
it's been a
April.
week of sunny,
It's been
60,
beautiful.
70-degree weather.
Absolutely
I'm
beautiful.
very surprised. It's very late in the season for us up here for that.
Yeah. So I was maybe a little agitated coming home. There was some ruckus downtown that I was driving through, and I was screaming curses to myself in traffic. But otherwise, kind of an okay day. In the back of my head, it's November, which means high alert, because I've had rough Novembers before. I used to cycle in the spring. I have bipolar disorder, in case you haven't been paying attention. And now I cycle in the fall sometimes. So, just half an eye on it.
Yeah.
You know what to look for.
I do too. Yes, I do.
Which helps.
I do.
Yeah, you're not going to get too many surprises out of me. It might be
Not
surprising,
now.
but it wouldn't be a surprise.
Right, yeah.
Timing
Not
is
now.
mostly the surprising part.
Timing is always a surprising part of it, yeah.
I haven't had a freak out in the middle of the night yet, but,
Yeah,
it's only November.
right.
So that's where I'm at today.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I'm doing.
Well, good.
And thanks for sharing, Steve.
Thanks for sharing, Steve.
And how are you?
I'm doing okay. I do like this idea. We used to do this, well, we kind of still do it now. Within our relationship, we always, in the evening, we would have a little time set aside where we would check in with each other. And that was something that we learned
Couples therapy.
with couples therapy.
And just kept,
And it
still
was
do it.
like what
pretty
we're
much.
doing now. It was just kind of like a little mental health check-in. Basically, how was your day? What did you do? How are you feeling? If it's very, very bad, okay, what can we do to help? Or what can I do to help? Or there might be nothing. But it's a way to check in, get it out of here and out of your mouth, you know, and get the ball rolling kind of, you know, type of thing. But I'm doing okay. I have noticed that with my physical health, I've improved a lot. I started methotrexate treatment about 5 weeks ago now. I think it is. Might even be a little longer than that. But if you don't know about that, it's a pretty harsh drug, and you know, you start off, you titrate up to a certain level, and then you stay at that level for a period of time. Well, I'm at the highest level now, and so what happens is I take it on a Friday, and I'm pretty down Saturday. It does make me sick, so I lay low, and it used to spill over into Sunday and Monday. Now it's getting so much shorter that this weekend I was bad on Saturday, but I woke up Sunday and I was almost back to normal. So, but then Monday through Friday, I am physically pretty much fine. My mood is good. Physically, I'm really good. And I mentioned the physical thing because that really has a huge effect on my mental health. Yeah. It does. I have a hard time coping with it or dealing with it when I'm not feeling well because of that. More mental. It is physical, but more mental, you know. So today, you know, I'm okay, but what I have found is that my mood is kind of swinging, you know. It's not drastic, it really isn't, but one tiny little thing can set me off. Like one tiny little thing can set me off, and I start getting hot and I sweat and I start shaking, and that's how it comes out of me. I have a friend at work that when she gets like that, she turns completely red and starts getting hives and patches of red marks all over her. You know, and for me, that's how it shows up. I start shaking, I start getting very hot, and I sweat. You know, and I've noticed that has been happening a lot yesterday and today, last couple days. Yeah, I've been pretty moody, and everything is like, kind of getting to me, so to speak. So I just have to reel it in, be present, you know. But I had an okay day at work. Work has been challenging recently. Last week and so far this week, it's been challenging with the patients and with new policies and procedures and things like that. And but I like my job. I'm very grateful that I have my job, and I try to contain it. You know, I try to do those things that we just talked about. I'm grateful that I have a job, you know, and one that I actually like, you know, because I used to let that get to me too, you know. But so, you know, no, physically I am pretty okay, and mentally I'm just having those kind of, I don't know, ups and downs, so to speak, and they're more down than up, but it'll pass. You know, it'll pass.
Might pass like a kidney stone, but it'll pass.
But it'll pass, you know. Yeah. But, I don't know. I don't really have much else to say about that.
No. I relate to the down thoughts. Down thoughts are hard. Like depression.
They're hard. It's hard to deal with.
Because it's like, all of a sudden, sucked into it immediately. And my orientation towards reality is not there. It's like, I don't ever remember feeling any other way before. I can't remember a time I was ever happy when I'm depressed.
And I'm never going to feel happy again.
I'm never going to feel happy. It was all lies. I've been lying to myself. That birthday, it was horrible.
Yeah, I know.
That road trip we took, what a bunch of crap.
It was, and then what happens is then, you know, the efforts come in, and, you know, I'm like, I don't care. I don't care. No matter what the situation is, I just don't care, because I think I'm so emotionally drained that I have to kind of not care, because it adds more to the stack, and before I know it, my mind has all these things going on in it, like, and none of it is earth shattering. None of it not, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
none of it is going to make the world stop spinning.
Mm-hmm.
None of it is urgently important, but it feels that way.
Mm-hmm.
And I get overwhelmed very easily. And
Yeah.
I think that's like what I've been feeling lately. I've been getting overwhelmed very quickly,
Mm-hmm.
more so than usual. And then kind of the down feeling comes and the efforts come,
Yeah.
So, but, and it's hard to do this too, but I know that, like, when I express it like this, it helps.
Mm-hmm.
And I can very easily not even do that, not even, let anyone else in on what's going on.
Yeah.
I can fall right back into that, even though I know so much better.
And you put on a good show. I don't mean to put,
can.
I don't mean to put you on blast, but like, I've seen you hide, like when you've had to go, like when you were at the restaurant and stuff, or we had to do catering things. Like, I've seen you feel physically and or mentally terrible, and hide it very well.
Mm-hmm.
So
Never let them see you sweat.
No,
Never.
never ever. Then they might think you need help and offer it.
I know.
Then they'll think you're needy and greedy and pathetic.
Yes.
Don't mind my internal monologue, by the way. It's a hard one to scream back at,
Yeah. But, we are blessed that we have each other to bounce these things off of,
Yeah.
And I would, I highly recommend doing that with a loved one, or a friend or something like that, because, I don't know how many times I've said it, but it's no secret we're dealing with we're living in some interesting times right now.
Mm-hmm.
And it can very easily get to us very quickly.
Mm-hmm.
And before we know it, it becomes overwhelming. And then,
it can take the wind out of us. Globally, obviously, a pandemic, does that. We were particularly hit hard by that in the United States. We've also had a rather tumultuous election period going on, and whatever side of the coin you fall on, there's lingering drama.
Yeah.
There's still lingering stuff going on, decided or not decided, and it puts at least half of the country on ice, with very strong feelings. Strong feelings everywhere, and people with strong feelings who have the efforts act on those strong feelings sometimes.
Yeah, they do, and that's a challenge too.
And that creates fear in some of us of having that, directed. It creates some of us feeling like we're just gonna, F it, who cares?
F it, paranoia comes
Who cares?
into play.
Whole world's coming to an end. What's the difference?
And the longer that this type of thing, like the pandemic, the longer that it continues on, the more folks, I think, fall into that kind of paranoid state of mind too.
Yeah.
You have the one side of it where people feel like, oh gosh, it's been 8-9 months now. It doesn't matter. Like it's on its way.
I'll take my chances.
I'll take my chances. But then you have the other side of it, where people are literally paranoid and very worried about everything, like the pendulum swings this way.
Yeah, the other side of the...
And I had found myself getting that when our numbers here started, like, really rising recently, like at this last time.
Week.
Like right now. It's, it's boom, skyrocketing.
It's triple what
up.
it was in February.
And I'm like, I'm seeing people every day. I'm like, what if I get sick? I have a compromised immune system. Like, would I come back? Would I not? If I did come back, what are the lingering effects? And then I start thinking that. Then, I have the sniffles. Oh my gosh, I'm dying. I have a headache. Oh my God. So I think that, that's getting a little worse as time goes on with the pandemic, and I'm just saying that because of the people that I see every day.
Yeah.
And, kind of expressing that to me, and unfortunately there's no answer for that because we're still at the phase where we really don't know. We don't know, But
it's good to have a comfort animal too.
It is.
If you
Someone says hello. Hi.
He rarely comes up.
There he is.
Hey, pumpkin.
There he's looking right at the camera. Good, see?
You can share our emotional support animal for a moment if you need to.
And it sends you a kiss. Mwah. Well, anyway.
At any rate. Well, thank you for listening to us share where we're at today. We'd encourage any of you to do the same below, and feel free to offer support to other people.
Yes.
Again, good, bad, small victories, challenges. Again, we're not pros. We're not expecting anyone who is a pro to use their professional experience. Just friends chatting with friends, trying to offer some support. I think it's a time where a lot of folks could use it, and if you want to make use of this forum to do that today for this video, go ahead and do it.
Yeah, either way, you know,
Yeah.
even if you decide not to, I think it's a good idea to keep in mind that a little, you know, mental health check-in every day certainly couldn't help or hurt.
No.
You know, it couldn't hurt at all.
No. Well, thank you all for joining us, thank you all for listening to us and for watching. Please do subscribe. Hit the like button and the bell on your way out so you get the alerts too. You can follow Mark and I on Facebook at SmokeySteveAndMarc, or on Instagram at SmokeySteveAndMarc, or on Twitter, our handle's at SmokeySteveA. Our email address and our contact information is all listed down below. Thank you once again, and what the hell's tomorrow?
Wednesday, hump day.
We will catch up with you tomorrow for hump day.
Oh, yes, we will. We have a lot of exciting things planned for the next few weeks. I'm excited to get to it.
Yes.
Remember,
Yes.
everybody, please stay safe and stay well, but above all else, really seriously, stay positive, all right? We'll see you next time. Ciao.
Bye.